Welcome to the stage where hearts unfold in the morning glow, stories untold. Let's play with words, a masterpiece of art where dialogues bloom, igniting in every heart. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently salt. Let's paint with words, a masterpiece of art where dialogues bloom, igniting every heart. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. A symphony of voices, harmonizing the air, echoing truth, banishing despair. Let's sow seeds of unity, watch them grow in this garden of hope under the morning glow. Let's bridge the gaps, erase the line in the tapestry of hearts that love shine. With every word, a step we take towards a brighter dawn for all our sake. Welcome to the morning glow, where dreams take flight in this realm of possibilities. Let's unite, together we stand, hand in hand, healing the nation across the land. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch, in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. Let's dive into the ocean of thoughts where waves of healing gently sought. Together we'll mend, stitch by stitch, in the morning glow. Let's make the switch. Let's symphony of voices, harmonizing the air, echoing truth, banishing despair.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, just a question asker. My name is Raheem Aljamain out of Atlanta, Georgia, but I got my brothers from another mother, but we got the same father. First on the line is Frank. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. Toussaint. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing good. Good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
Boy, that energy is infectious. That energy that you got, man, is contagious. I'm telling you, man.
If you ain't come with your own energy, I don't have the problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Sometimes I wonder. Yeah, sometimes I do. God don't mind, boy. That's it there. That's energy right there. Tucson.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. I got we about to be a little about to start rough this morning, Tucson. About to start rough. Are you ready?
Mm,
Women say they won't date
Go ahead.
a lot of women say they won't date a man that stay at home with their mama, right?
Mm, I don't know. They got a bunch of them do.
Yeah, yeah. But a lot of women say, I ain't gonna date you. You stay at home with your mama. I ain't gonna date you. You stay at home with your mama, is what they say. And a lot of time they mean that. It's okay. Though, everybody got their own preference. Everybody got their own preference of what they like, what they don't like, or whatever the case. But they say they won't date a man that stay at home with their mama, but they'll date a man that stay at home with his wife. What kind of mess?
Oh shoot.
Yeah, man. Now what kind of mess is that, man? Huh? Oh, you didn't you
Lord.
you didn't see that one coming, did you? You didn't see that one coming. You didn't see it coming.
Well, you blindsided me there.
Yes, sir. But a lot of times they want if you stay at home with your mama, they you stay at home with your mama, yada yada. And you never know what the person's situation. Maybe they could be staying there with their mama because they helping their mother. Their mother's in a situation financially where she's not able to do what it is that she need to do. So the son step in and say, "Look, mama, don't worry about it. I got you. I got you until you get on your feet. I got you. Then I move out and get my own spot. It's okay." But they don't see that. But if a man stay at home with his wife, they'll date him all day long. What kind of mess is
Oh
that,
my.
Tucson? What kind of mess is that? What kind of foolery is that? Let's
Mm,
talk about it.
mm. Shoot, I don't know where to begin, but um,
Yeah,
I would think that there are some that don't want to deal with commitment.
mm-hmm.
And if you are especially making the best attempt to take care of home and doing a fairly good job on that seems like it, especially on the outside, there are some that say, well, you know what? It might be a little extra for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Wow.
um, but most, we got independent. Oh Lord, you should. Where Badger at?
He'll be in
That's
a
the
few
first
minutes.
time in three, almost 4 years that I requested for Badger.
Mm.
And
That's the
once
first.
we
That's the
love,
first there, brother. That's the first, ain't it?
yeah, because this can get toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but some women are what we call independent. They don't really need a man. They just want a man,
Mm.
a half a man,
Mm.
not even a half a.
Wow.
See, see a man that stays home with his mom. He really don't have to make his own bed. Mama will make it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if he stays, he should. If he stays home with his wife, he makes sure that she's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The lights the lights are on, the gas and water and the bills are paid. He, the man, makes sure that his wife don't walk
Mm-hmm.
nowhere
Yeah.
unless she want to.
Mm-hmm.
And when she steps outside, you can tell that she got a husband somewhere
Mm-hmm.
because she's well grown. She don't go out. Let me just say this. I'm sorry. Maybe some do, but she don't go out with a bonnet on her head and a house coat
Mm-hmm.
going to the grocery store because he represents her and she represents him.
Yes.
And when some of these women see that, they say, "I don't want it all. I just want some."
Mm. And trying to mess up a good thing. Trying to mess up a good thing for their own self
Yeah,
gratification. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. My thing is, if you see
yeah.
somebody doing good, leave.
Here's the
You see
point.
somebody doing good, leave them alone.
Yeah, but we don't live in this type of society right here.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
We live in a society that anything goes. Matter of
Mm-hmm.
fact, that you got to watch it these days. I'm gonna throw a loop in it. You shouldn't have even brought it up. But you think that some of these you talking about women look at a man that's living home with his wife. They got some men looking at him too.
Oh Lord. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. That part does happen as well. Yeah. Let me go to Frank. Frank, what do you say to that, man? Some women won't date a man that stay at home with his mama. Cause you stay, boy, you ain't no man. You stay at home with your mama. And they got all this backlash and this back talk about it. But they would date a man that stay at home with his wife. What kind of foolery is that, Frank?
Well, I don't understand the mind of adulterer. Um,
Mm-hmm. Come on.
I don't associate with a man or a woman that is dating married men or women.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have any reference that I can go to why somebody would try to break up somebody's home. I have zero respect for either of those people, for anybody that's in that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But I am someone who defines words, and you really got to question: are you a man or just a male when you're stepping out on your wife?
Mm-hmm.
Just because somebody presented you with something, that doesn't mean you have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be opportunities, for everybody to sin every day. And a lot of times people, their only goal, they really don't want you. All they want to do is break up your marriage.
Yep. Yep.
So if you're stupid enough to fall into that trap, it's not cute. It's not okay. You have children involved, and other family members. I really get along with my brother-in-laws and my
Mm-hmm.
mother-in-law and her aunts and uncles. We all get along. So the people that would jeopardize that, and we will put it on the person that comes in and messes up that union. But the person that knows that they have somebody at home,
Had to open the
and
door. They had to open the door for that person to come in. They had to open the door.
well, you don't have to open the door for somebody to approach you.
Mm-hmm.
I struggle with people that want to justify them sinning by saying that Jesus was tempted. The devil did what the devil does,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean that Jesus was pondering. That sounds kind of good. Maybe I will do it. Just because you're presented with something
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that you have to consider for a moment doing it.
And when I
You
said
know.
when I said open the door, I meant opportunity. Like you said, they didn't have to. It was presented to them, but they opened the door to the opportunity. Is what I was speaking of, and ventured down that alley, because they could have very well said, "Nah, no, no. Look at, I got my wife home. I love my wife, and I don't do that. That's not who I am. That's not what I do. Thank you for your invitation, but no, thank you," and walk away.
Well, I tell you what they need to do is short that way up.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing, it's never, and one thing that men and women need to understand, that thing doesn't happen all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with an inappropriate conversation that you shouldn't be having.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice that there's some interest there. If I'm around a woman and all of a sudden, it don't feel right,
Yeah.
first thing I'm gonna do is start talking about my wife.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna get sick of me because yeah, how do I look like? How do I look in this dress? Oh, about half as good as my wife would look at it, because
Mm-hmm.
my wife is da 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 da.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
wife is this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
And they could be like, "Oh my God, this guy is sickening." Yep, on purpose.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's good. That's good. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
I I don't know if yeah, I knew it was a joke, but a coworker was talking, and she was mentioning actually a sum of a good sum of money. I said, well, let me give you this phone number. Ask them. See what she said. Let me give you my wife's phone number. See
Mm-hmm.
what she got to say about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
if you got enough nerve to ask her, knock yourself out.
Mm-hmm. It ain't gonna, how you say it
Yeah.
ain't gonna work out
So
good for you.
Mm. Lord have mercy. You know, even on the job, you gotta watch yourself. Oh, this heavy. I say, grab the other end. I got the other side. I help you with it, but I'm not gonna do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about it is, I don't have to take you home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't I don't you Lord have mercy. We work in a I don't know how to say this. Um there's there's about 13,000 um in employment,
Some people.
I think a little bit more or less. And um the women make as much as the men
Mm-hmm.
here.
Mm-hmm.
And some would say, if you listen to the talk, especially out in the real part of the workplace, I can't identify it for reasons. They they would almost call this place a mini Sodom and Gomorrah.
Mm. Good Lord. Mm.
Man, they got guys that when you make a decent living, uh, they got guys that spend a good bottom money to hide in spots where the camera won't catch
Mm.
them. That's so easy, boy. I tell you. Ooh, I'm for real.
Wow.
I, I listen,
Mm-hmm.
and I say, and the reason why I say that is because you know there are some try to take two checks home, at least one and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So you cut them off at the gate, change your mentality or your mindset. You can't be looking for nothing because if you're looking for something, you sure enough can get it.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch yourself because you take on more than you expect, and some of it you can't get rid of.
Mm. Wow.
Well, I don't know why you brought this up. Yeah, but you sit in the back of your recliner and you put your hands in the back of your head, and thoughts come to your mind. And you say,
That'll be good. That'll be good. That'll be a good conversation. Let me run it by my wife, see what she say. Don't you talk don't you talk about nothing like that. Oh, that's the
but
topic. That's it. That's it. That's it.
yeah, but you think about a guy that stays home with his mom,
Mm-hmm.
and you say that women don't date men that stay with their mama. I,
Mm.
I beg to differ.
Mm.
Me, just me. But that stay with one that stay with his wife. Well, we got people that don't care where you stay,
Yeah. Yeah. True.
as
That's
long as
true.
you stay somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
What's worse than that? They got some that let you stay with them
Mm. Yeah. Open the door wide
while
open for
they
you.
go to work.
Open the door wide for you.
While they go,
Yeah.
got two or three jobs while he on the couch.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And then the bad thing about it is they the side piece.
Wow. Mm. Mm. Frank, talk to
Now
me.
here's the kicker, right?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your thought, brother.
So our morals and values are low. I say our,
Mm-hmm.
and because I don't point the finger. I look at everybody as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at this society. I ain't got no room to throw stones, but I can conduct myself in a way. But at the same time, there are people that just they don't have no morals and values. You just got to have some.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I'm just saying.
That's true. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Asking the question this morning. We're having a discussion this morning. Some women say they won't date a man that lives at home with his mama. I'm not gonna date no man, they say, that live at home with their mama. But they would date a man that stays at home with his wife. Cassandra, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
How you doing? Cassandra, how you doing? Cassandra, you know I'm picking at you, right? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Cassandra? Do. Cassandra, wake up
She
and
got to flip. She got to flip her phone open. Give her a minute. She got to flip her phone open.
that phone ain't had no coffee this
Is
morning.
anyone else there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Captain Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm back when you get back to me.
Okay, good. I'm gonna come back to you right now. Right now. Cassandra, I got a statement I want to make for you, and I want to hear your heart on it. Now, Cassandra, you being a young lady, have you ever heard women say they would not date a man that stayed home with his mama?
Yes.
So why would some of those same women that say I won't date a man that stay at home with their mama would date a man that stay at home with his wife? What kind of mess is that, Cassandra? They won't date a man to stay at home with his mama. They don't know what his situation is. Like I said earlier, maybe he's helping his mom. His mama might have ran into a rough.
That ain't funny, Reed.
But see,
So no.
a lot of time, maybe the mama ran into a rough patch, and the son said, "Listen, mama will move in with you, help you get back on your feet."
Yeah.
You never know what the situation is. But a woman to say, "You stay at home with your mama," I'm not gonna date. You stay at home with your mama, but they'll date a man that stay at home with his wife.
Oh yeah. In a city hot second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that mentality, and that's something that I have never done.
Mm-hmm.
Dated a married person, and I would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
It causes too much pain, and I don't know. Women get mad at me because I just tell them straight up, you know you a whole, right?
Well,
I'm sorry
God
to use
told
the
my
word, but it's what the Bible says. No, for real. No, when women come at me and tell me like, and I'm dating this guy, but he's not. I don't care what he's telling you, but he miserable. Then get a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
But to know that this man is married and you carrying on, I said you're gonna pay a price for that. It's gonna come back to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's gonna come back to you. So yeah, I don't agree with that. But if a man is staying at home, I think he's a wise man, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Because if you got somewhere you can say and you can be safe, that's more for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's more for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he has money that he can save, and you know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with that, And I know some people even say about their children living at home. I'll be totally honest. My children could have stayed with me as long as they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
When they were ready to move out with their families, or they've saved up enough to get that way, you giving them that opportunity if that's what if you can deal with that. Everybody can't deal with their grown children being in the house, and I understand if you can't, but to me they could have stayed as long as they wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And it actually in that situation it'll be beneficial for everybody because you cut those bills down a little bit. Yeah,
Absolutely.
cut those bills just a
It's
tad bit.
it's a win-win, Raheem.
Yeah.
It's a win-win, but people don't look at it like that. Now, if you got a trifling child that ain't doing nothing and ain't contributing, then they gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're living there, they're respecting your home. You know, this is my thing. No, I ain't even gonna go there. It, yeah, you cannot bring anybody to sleep in my house,
Mm-hmm.
but you
Yeah.
definitely can live at home. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that way you have enough money if y'all gotta go to a hotel. You They ain't doing it at my house or her house,
Yeah, exactly.
you know. But I'm just saying,
Mm-hmm. Wow.
not promoting fornication.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Leonard, I know you're there, brother, but I got to go to the ladies first. Got to go to the ladies first. So please bear with me just for a second. Annie from Mississippi. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, great morning, God morning to everybody.
Now, Annie, I'm making a statement this morning. I want you to tell me how you feel about it. Now, you are like Sandra, you're a young lady, and I know you've heard women say. I assume you've heard women say, "I won't date a man that stay at home with his mama." You heard a woman say that before?
I have.
Okay. Now, why is it these same women that say, I won't date a man that stay at home with his mama will date a man that stay at home with his wife?
Wow.
Come on now, let's talk
that's a
about it.
very good. I don't know, Raheem. I can't answer that. But there are women out there who feel just like what you just said. They won't date a man, at home with your mom. I guess that means you're broke or something. But at home with your wife, I guess that don't matter because you're providing for the wife. So, and a lot of women like to challenge. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and we was talking about a guy that we know from back in the day, how he loved to only date married women.
Mm,
He just don't want a single woman. He ain't ugly. He ain't broke. He got everything going for him. But he loved to date another man's wife. So I don't know. I mean, it's just maybe it's just a challenge for them to date married men. And sometimes being a guy at home, his mom is not really broke. Maybe he's there with her to take care of her, or maybe he's there for her. There are many reasons behind that besides him not having the means to move out.
hmm
So I don't know, right?
but that don't make a whole lot of sense to me though. That don't make a whole lot of sense. You sit here and complain up and down, right and left, side to side. Won't date no man to stay at home with his mama. But this man right here got a whole wife that he stay at home with, and you talking about you gonna date him and you dating him and y'all, that's your boo. No, it ain't.
It's the mindset, right here. Their mindset is it's all warped. It's all twisted. I mean, I don't know. I can't understand these new generation women anyway. I don't understand. Things I see them doing, and there are things that they, the way the men that they date. I don't know. You won't stay home. You want to date nobody to stay home with your mama because you think he broke, but you'll pick somebody up off the street who ain't got no job, and you leave him at home to babysit your kids, and he broke too. So I don't get it.
It don't make no sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. Captain Leonard, talk to me, brother. I know you got to take on this thing, man. She say she won't date a man that stay at home with his mama, but she'll date a man that stay at home with his wife. Leonard, come on, man. Talk to me, brother. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
It's two different situations. Can you hear
Mm.
me, Raheem?
I can, yes, sir.
Okay. It's two different situations, but it's funny to me because I ain't I'm just not as respectful as most people when it comes to certain things.
Uh-oh.
A woman will say what she won't do and be doing it right after she says she won't.
Mm. Mm.
So all that woo woo woo, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that, or whatever. You gonna do it.
Wait it out. Just
You
wait it
gonna
out
do
now.
it. Yeah, that's what most men do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now there are some women that like that whole situation. When we meet or what have you, my living arrangements is my living arrangements. That's my living arrangements. Now you can have whatever opinion you want about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Okay. You stopped up. You stopped.
I don't think, but if you know, to each his own.
Mm-hmm. Well, then what kind of sense that make though? If you really think about it, you're gonna tell this man, and like I said, you never know what the situation is. You don't know what a person's situation is until you had a conversation with them, and then they talk about what it is. But if it could be a situation whereas he's helping out, he's helping, but yet and still, because of the fact that he is staying at home with his mama, you have an issue with that. But the same man go get married, you'll date him all day long, twice on Sunday. What sense that make, man?
Well, like I said, that's two different things. He ain't screwing his mama.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't even equate the two at all.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
The saying itself, no, the saying itself doesn't make sense to me.
Mm.
And I don't know why they would even be related.
Yeah, it happens every day, brother. Frank, talk to me.
I watched this guy on a talk show the other day. Matter of fact, a friend of mine sent it to me, and he's a boxer, and he was being interviewed by this guy, a radio host, and so he's retired. So the radio host said to him, "Hey man, how much money would it take to get you back in the ring?" He's like, the guy's real calm. He said, "No man, I'm retired." He said, "No amount of money would get me back in the ring." He said, "Oh man, come on. Now you telling me if somebody offered you $100 million,
I saw
you
that.
wouldn't get back in the ring?" He
Mhm.
said, you saw that?"
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He said, "I know I would get back in the ring." And he said, "Oh, well, that just speaks to your character.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
just means that you don't have anything about you.
Mm-hmm.
That don't say nothing about me."
Yeah.
And got real quiet. And he said, "It just shows that you can be bought."
Mm-hmm.
He said,
Yeah.
"That's not who I am."
Mm-hmm.
And so there are people that that they are what the Bible says that they are. They let their yays be yays and their nays be nays. It's you're not going to compromise them
Mm-hmm.
just for money or for anything else. They have principles. So I never say that, well, and you know me, Raheem, I'm not somebody that paints men or women with the same brush. I mean, you have people that are just steadfast
Mm-hmm.
and what they say they will and will not do. I pray that when we are looking for a husband or a wife, that we find, somebody with character. That's number one with me.
Mm-hmm.
Even with a friend, if I can't trust you, if I say, "Hey man, I'm gonna drop my car off at the dealer. Can you pick me up at 4:30? Oh yeah, I got you." And then you don't show up,
Mm.
don't answer your call. Okay, I know that I can't trust you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it home, but I'm not gonna make that call again. I put you in the category as someone who is untrustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely gonna marry the untrustworthy spouse. Now, people can surprise you, but I know far too many people. I mean, if it's, I'd have to say 90. I don't deal with people that can be corrupted like that. And if you did something like that, it would really shock me. It'd be like,
Mhm.
"Really, dude, you did that?"
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have people in my circle, and I'm gonna say this, Raheem. I grew up in an era where in our neighborhood you had that woman that was loose,
Mm-hmm.
and the women in our neighborhood, man, they treated her like a leopard.
Mm.
She better not walk up and be talking to one of their husbands.
Yeah.
They even told the kids to stay away from that house.
Mm-hmm.
Stay away from that house, because the leadership of that house is corrupted, and if she will, knowing that these are our husbands, if she will lay with one of our husbands, she got all kind of messed up stuff going on.
Oh yeah.
Now, if she changed, they would change. But
Mm-hmm.
until she changed, she wouldn't be to be messed with.
Mm-hmm.
And my daddy better not have said, "Oh well, I was just fixing her plumbing." Dude, I don't care if that woman is calling you and her house is on fire. Don't you
Mm-hmm.
go to her house?
Wow. Wow.
So,
Mm.
so I think there's more good people out here, man,
Yeah. And
than
there is.
they are bad. The bad people are highlighted,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a whole lot of good people, man. That they're just not going to do vile things.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, and they're people of their word.
Exactly. Exactly. Cassandra, talk to me. Toussaint, coming to you next, brother.
Yeah, I I I I'm sorry. I just can't, because doing what I do, and dealing with women, that's my ministry, basically toward women. And when chicks come with me, I mean saved women.
Mm-hmm.
These sisters serving in the church,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
and then they gonna tell me I'm having an affair with deacons. I'm like, girl, don't. I mean, they know when people come to me with certain things, they know I'm gonna show them some, a little bit of patience, but they know I don't tolerate mess, because you dead wrong. I ain't going along with your. It's no reason that she could give me, or he,
Mm-hmm.
for that matter, can
Mm-hmm.
give me that would justify them cheating on their partner, their wife.
Mm-hmm.
Heck no.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they don't get along, and he's not happy, and she well then, and I'm gonna repeat it. And I don't say divorce lightly. I'm not saying it lightly. But don't tell me he can't get out of it. No, he don't want to get out of it. You are
Exactly.
inconvenience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You are a
Mm-hmm.
convenience for him. So
Exactly.
I'm big on that. Don't tell me that. I don't. You got the wrong sister. If you think you could just casually tell me that, and I'm not gonna come at you with it, I'm gonna come at you with it. Now I pray you through it. I love him. I just love him so much. No, I get
Mm-hmm.
that. But
Mm-hmm.
you will have to let him go if you're going to continue to serve God like you say you want to.
Mm-hmm.
It's between him and God. Really, that's the choice.
Yeah. So she placed herself in a position of being that spare tire in the trunk.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's what I keep. There is no good that comes out of having affairs with married people,
Mm-hmm.
male or female. There
Mm-hmm.
is nothing good can come out of that,
Yeah.
because 90% of the time he is not going to leave his wife. She is not going to leave her husband.
Mm-hmm.
So you're wasting your time. You're sinning in the eyes of God. So what benefit is that? Getting 5 seconds? No, I was getting ready to say, okay, I'll give him a break. Getting 10 seconds of pleasure? Come on.
You doubled the time. You went from 5 to 10 seconds. You doubled the time.
Yep, getting 10.
There you go. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
Raheem.
Yes, sir.
Let me see. I gotta keep myself. It's not a date, Raheem.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a date. Why you say they dating them?
Mm.
What made you think it's a date?
Hey, I'm just trying to put it into some kind of a category that make a little bit of sense.
You think that makes sense?
Mm-mm.
It ain't a date.
Wow.
We was, I think at the time, wife and I was at this restaurant, and this man and this woman walked in, holding hands. That was so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Look nice, but I guess that must have been a date.
Mm.
But she was like, her mouth flew open, and she said, "That's my coworker's husband."
Mm. Wow.
There are some things that get you killed, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no way in the world. See, a man's. Let's go to the other side, right here. We're talking about. There's some women don't date a man that stays with his mom, but they a man that stays with his wife. Well, what about the women? How do you say? I'm trying to reverse it.
Mm-hmm.
The man that won't stay with a woman that stays with her mom, but with her dad, but stays with her husband. That'll get you killed.
Mm-hmm.
That'll get you killed.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
Quickly.
Can you imagine?
Quickly.
Yeah. Can you imagine that, Raheem? The man comes home early, and you think you got you something.
Mm. And not only that, you in that man's house. You in that man's house. Oh Lord Jesus.
I'm talking about this. I had a coworker, and she had a boyfriend, but her boyfriend was driving her husband's truck. That'll get you killed. I said, boy, you two things about a man's. That's a man's. Don't drive his truck and don't mess with his dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And his wife.
Yeah. Why you say and his wife? Why was there such a pause then when you said his wife though, man? I'm kind of curious about that.
No, but you see, I'm funny about my truck.
Mm-hmm.
If you tear my truck up, you can borrow my truck right here.
Yeah.
And if you tear it up, you keep it. Don't bring it back to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And please don't mess with my dog.
Yeah.
Now, the wife is automatic.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's automatic. Man to go to war.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say something. But Raheem, this is what I thought about in this conversation that we're having.
Now, what would you do,
because there
Tucson?
should be some
What
help.
what would you do,
With,
Tucson? Tucson, what would you do if you at a function and you cut the corner, and as soon as you cut the corner, you see your pastor that you've been up under for many years swing at your wife. Now she ducked and he missed, but at that second, what do? That's your pastor now, and your wife. What you do?
I don't care who he is.
Huh?
I don't care who he is.
What you
I
say?
don't care who he is. I ain't got that much respect for another man. That I belittle myself because he got a title. I'm not that type of dude.
Yeah.
I don't care nothing about. He can call himself the apostle, bishop, and all that other kind of thing. He a man. I don't have that kind of. I don't honor him because of no title. Oh, he's just. I guess that's my pastor. I guess I better not say nothing. You ever saw somebody get busted in the head to the white meat? Right here, I was trying to think about what is that? Hello.
Somebody got something going on in the background. I got to figure out who it is. But go ahead. I figured out. Go ahead.
Let's go. I was trying to figure some help here in this conversation, Raheem, because that I can't help but think that there was a woman at the well. So how can we address this conversation to speak to the woman at the well? Because she had 5 husbands, and the one she was with wasn't hers. At the end of the conversation, just by asking for some water, she said, "Come see a man." Now, how do we get there? Now we can do whatever we want to, but Cassandra is made a point of how can you be the minister to those people? How can you do that? How can we accomplish that? We can talk about being low down and dirty. You ain't never been low down and dirty, have you? I know I have. If that's the dirty you're talking about,
Yeah.
But there's some other low down and dirties that you are. So now, since we are here in this conversation, where's the help?
Hey, Tucson.
Yes, sir.
Peter said to the equation I gave you. He said, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today in memory of Pastor Swing and Miss."
Exactly. He don't get no excuse because he's a man.
Yeah.
And see, some of you ain't never ran into sunshine.
Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We asking the question we're talking about this morning. We're gonna change the topic in just a few minutes, but right now at the top of the hour, we're gonna change the topic. But we're talking right now about a woman said that she would not date a man that lives at home with his mama, but that very same woman would date a man that live at home with his wife. What sense does that make? Leonard, talk to me.
I'm gonna let this one ride. That's that lady business. That's just how she get down. And trust me, a whore is a whore.
Hey.
I mean, I don't see where the struggle is at. Everybody doing what they want to do.
And it ain't always right, brother.
That turns some folks on.
Yeah.
Even with somebody else's spouse, that turns some people on.
Evil.
That's their fetish.
Evil is gonna be evil. Don't make it good.
I mean, mean, if you just look right, that's
Thou
what
shalt
people
not
do. I mean, it's not
covet
like
it.
it's something extraordinary.
Mm-hmm. Thou
That's
shalt
why I don't
not
even
covet it.
equate the two, because it's two completely different issues.
Mm-hmm.
One, I guess, is about living arrangements and economics, and the other one is about adultery.
Mm-hmm. It could be looked at. It could be looked at in that
But
way.
I don't
But
think,
go ahead.
yeah. So I don't know, what the issue would be. But like my mother say, that very thing you say you'll never do
Mm-hmm.
is what you usually wind up doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Anybody got anything else you want to say on this topic before we move on to the next one? Yeah, I don't know care about that topic.
But Raheem, I can't help but say, why can't you get your own?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the problem?
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem?
Mm-hmm.
Because I still we cover some ground, but we don't never get to the point of the matter where we be a help
Mm-hmm.
to
Get
somebody.
get
Somebody.
what you say, do something. Get your own husband. Yo, you ain't gotta worry about all that mess.
But there's somebody. I mean, I got cut off. There's somebody that living what you talking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Somebody.
Yeah.
And they're
Absolutely.
listening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
And they know they're
call
wrong.
them, you can call them a pimp or you can call them a whore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whatever you want to call
Mm-hmm. On the Xbox.
them. How do you change the mindset of people? Is it a heart problem?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a what problem? What kind of problem is it?
Mm-hmm.
Or is there some things that we don't address? And there's some things that we just, the Holy Ghost will direct us on what to say,
Mm-hmm.
but not this.
Yeah.
We don't know we can talk a person out of drinking and smoking, but we can't address adultery and homosexuality
Mm-hmm.
and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to. We're supposed to be able to.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what you're gonna say. I mean, you can talk them down, but how can you talk them up?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. Or we just let me ask a question. Then another thing. I'm gonna leave it alone. Just go to your other subject. Everybody ain't been married just one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. True.
So when in between marriages, what helped you get where you are?
Mm-hmm.
Raheem, and we've all have worked jobs, and we've seen people intentionally try to destroy perfectly good relationships.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like it eats at them.
Yeah.
You see a woman that is, minding her own business, and you notice she's married, and it's just like you were determined to other people may be saying, oh no. People may ask about her, hey, who is that? Oh, that's such and such, but she married. Oh,
Mhm.
please, I can get that.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with you? Why won't you just leave that woman alone?
Exactly. They just told you what the
And then
situation
you
is.
look up and then now this man is stalking her. Hey, can I buy you lunch? Or hey, can I sit here while what's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you serving? You're being used by the devil because you don't want to see somebody else happy. I had a woman on my job, and we are
Mhm.
people. It was close quarters, people talking, and we're just in natural conversation, just a whole group of people talking. She's talking to me, But I noticed she had spun her wedding ring around where you couldn't see the diamond. It just looked like a band.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. And over the time we spent together, I brought her husband up. Hey, how's your husband doing? And she looked shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I said, man, oh, he's okay. I was like, well, what's his hobby? And she just shared with me, oh man, I wish I was good at that. And I began to encourage her to consider him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so many of us will look at it as I can get her. You worse than her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or you waiting for somebody to fall. How many people do you know that's waiting? Oh, they won't. They saying they won't do this, but watch them. It's only you waiting for the car accident.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, people. Let's restoration is our business. Let's help each other. Let's encourage each other to good works.
Mm-hmm. It's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. You're listening to DKM Media Group and Associates, and this is The Morning Glow. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, from 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Share, like, and subscribe to the platform. If you like what we're talking about, come on back and join us. And call in. Again, 508-924-3521. Gonna show you my book. My book right here, my second novel, Untrust. Sometimes it's better to stand alone. Sometimes it's better to stand alone. That's the title of the book. It's what you would say a gangster love story. There's a lot of twists and turns in it. Love is strange sometimes, and we talk about it. Untrust. Sometimes it's better to stand alone. Reach out to me. If you like a copy, reach out to me, and I'll make sure I get that information to you, how you can obtain one. Now, let's Cassandra. Cassandra, you there?
Yes, I am.
Cassandra, our next topic is this, and everybody gonna look at it and view it differently. So you tell me from where you take it from. But is there strength in being silent? Is there strength in being silent?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. It takes sometimes tremendous strength to be quiet or be silent,
Mhm.
especially when you're under attack unjustly.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I can't talk for everybody. Let me just talk for because it's time that I have been attacked, and I knew that they were wrong in what they were doing and what they were saying, and
Mhm.
it took every ounce of Jesus, every ounce of Jesus,
Come
and
on.
the Holy Spirit and God, all three of them, to keep me from going flat off.
Mhm.
And so yeah, there is great strength in being silent sometimes. You just need to not say anything. And then there's a time to cry loud and spare not.
Yeah.
I got that part locked down. But that silent part sometimes,
Yeah.
it is a total struggle for me. It really is. It really is.
Good deal. Let me go to Annie from Mississippi. Annie, asking the question: is there strength in being silent?
Oh, most definitely. There is, in fact, the most power in just not saying nothing at all.
Mm.
You know, some things you don't have to entertain, and sometimes rather than trying to prove your point or to get a person to understand, especially if that person is a narcissist, it's best to just, not even try to go back and forth and try to get them to see things the way you see things, because it's not going to happen. The best thing to do is just to be quiet.
Wow.
You just be quiet. I mean, there's so much authority in not entertaining everything. There's so much authority in not having an opinion about everything. Sometimes your silence speaks louder than your words does. You know,
What
it's
if
hard for us to do that, especially as women. It's hard for us to do that. But you know, once we conquer that, you know, that strength and that self-control, we have authority. We got power in that.
mm-hmm. Is it possible that a person could view your silence as weakness?
Yes, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Many people will think if you're not saying anything, let's say you got into an argument with somebody, and maybe on your job, and you choose not to go back and forth. Many times they'll think because you're not going back and forth, it's because you're scared or afraid or weak, intimidated, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
However, especially a person like myself, sometimes it's best to fight your battles in silence.
Yeah.
You know, you praying. I'm not speaking out loud. My words that coming out of my mouth,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm praying in my heart to my Father
Mm-hmm.
that's going to fight every battle for me.
Mm-hmm. That's
So,
good. That's good.
most definitely.
That's good. Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Morning, man. Morning right here. Morning glow. What's going on?
Curtis, is there strength in being silent?
Is there stress in being silent?
Is there strength?
Is there strength in being silent?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
How so?
Jesus was silent.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
You know, my grandma used to say the saying. I don't know how she used to say it. Your business ain't everybody's business, and everybody's business ain't your own, baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You hear me?
Uh-huh.
There's strength in being silent. You know, I remember she used to tell me, if you pay real close attention, the smartest man in the room is the quietest man in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gotta be all loud and important. Nah, you ain't gotta just be quiet, sit back and watch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there is strength in being silent.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. Let me go to Leonard. Leonard, what do you think about this, man? Is there strength in being silent?
I think I look at it more as discipline.
Mm-hmm. Don't be changing my words now.
You know, I don't know just what I don't know where the strength is. You could be just dismissive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very dismissive.
Mm-hmm.
So you may be talking about something I don't care for. I don't think I'm strong and I don't say nothing. I just really don't care about what you're talking about.
Mm. Someone let's say let's deal with that situation that hey, Leonard, let's deal with that situation. I think that Annie has said, yet at work, somebody coming at you sideways, and you say, you know what? You get up and you walk out. You don't say anything, but they coming at you all kind of different ways, man. Is there strength in that?
I mean, for some people it may be, but I don't have to say anything anyway. I will pretend you're not there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Unless you know I'm not listening to you. I'm not giving you my attention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason why I would say anything, or I just got to say something.
Mm-hmm.
And if it persists, it's gonna be an incident.
Do you think some people have an issue with finding that strength and not saying anything? That every situation they have to say something. I have to tell you.
Yeah, some people lack discipline.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't, it's easy to manipulate somebody that can't keep their mouth closed. If you always gotta say you're not in control of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's a discipline issue for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like I say, but I've never had the problem where I couldn't control myself.
Mm-hmm. You never flew off the handle?
Do what now?
You never flew off the handle?
Not unknowingly, no.
Okay.
If I'm gonna attack you, I'm just gonna attack you, period.
He said not unknowingly. Okay, I got you. I got you. Frank, talk to me, man. Is there strength in being silent? Tucson, coming to you next.
You know, I think you have to have discernment, Raheem. You have to know when you need to be quiet, and you have to know, and that's something that you have to practice.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to know when you need to step up and say something, or when you need to keep your mouth shut. You know, I told you where when I started my transportation company, and I just had one patient, and it grew to the lady that was giving me her appointments was good with me having that one patient.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I had, all of the patients in the nursing home, she told me that, you're doing a lot better now. I'm looking at your checks. I need 10% of that.
Mm.
And I said, what? She said, yeah, every month I need 10%, or I'm gonna stop giving you patients. And I went home and I prayed about it, and God said, you that's not what you do. You just keep, providing a service, but you don't allow her to do that to you. But don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And the end of the month came. I took my check. I gave her nothing. Following day, I did not have a single patient.
Mm.
She didn't schedule me to take anybody. And weeks went by, still didn't have nobody. And got a call from the owner. They said, hey, Frank, man, where you been, dude? I haven't seen you almost a month. Now, it would have been easy for me to say, your corrupt person is no longer scheduling me. I said, oh, yeah, I'm here. What's going on? He said, well, a lot of the patients are concerned, I need to meet with you, and meet me in my office. I went to his office, and he had a calendar. He said, these are the people that I want you to take, starting tomorrow. He said, but I have 2 other nursing homes. Can you take care of them? I said, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, Raheem, if I would have opened my mouth, if I would have messed up that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that God told me, keep your mouth shut. And it worked out. But then there's sometimes, because I also want to speak to the threats that a lot of women get of, if you say something, I'm going to do this, that, and other. Now you need to speak up.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get yourself in a safe place, and you need to let somebody know. The children that are threatened, I'm going to do this or that to your daddy or your mama if you say something. Now you need to tell your daddy and your mama.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have that discernment on when to and when not to open your mouth. But, the majority of the time, it can't be emotional. You got to think. You really got to think.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Is there strength in being silent? Is there strength in it? Tucson, talk to me.
Let me see if I can find it. let's see if I can find it. And again, wait, no, not there. Hold on. Oh, there it is. This, this they said, tempting him that he might have to accuse him, but Jesus stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not.
Mm-hmm.
We caught her in the very act. He didn't say a word.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say a word.
Yeah. Didn't say nothing. Yeah.
How you gonna give an answer if you're not listening?
Mm-hmm.
David. No, not David. Solomon. His first task as king after he prayed that prayer, Lord, give me his wisdom and the understanding to lead your people. Paraphrasing. And all of a sudden, these two women, Leonard calls them whores. Leonard calls them whores.
Mm.
These two women come and they land together, and one turns over and kills her child at night.
Mm-hmm.
And she instead of taking responsibility for what has happened, she takes the live child
Thank you.
from the woman that's sleeping
Mm-hmm.
and puts her dead child with the woman. And they bring it to Solomon
Mm-hmm. Wise
to figure
man.
out what should be done.
Mm-hmm.
You think Solomon wasn't listening carefully?
Mm-hmm.
This is my child. No, the dead child is mine, hers, and the live child, the woman's, which is my child.
Mm-hmm.
You think there was some strength in him in listening, or did he just fly off at the mouth like some of, you know? Yeah, I didn't mind it, so I started to say it. I might as well say it, like some of us do.
Oh.
We just talk.
Mm.
We just want to say something because it makes us seem smart.
Mm-hmm.
But did you hear the question?
Wow. Just ranting
Is
and
there
raving.
any strength in listening?
Ain't
Sure
even
it
answering
is.
the question. Just ranting and raving.
How
Mm-hmm.
many miles? How many miles do you have?
Mm.
How many ears do you have?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My daddy said, "There's a reason behind that."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Badger, what do you say to that? Is there strength in being silent? Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Morning. It's been a blessing of a day so far.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Um, and first thing that pops into my mind is the thing that
JoJo.
I've heard that keeps getting passed down of, careful of the silent ones.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Um, s-
Come on.
and it's not like trying to say that all people that are quiet are like that. It's just
Mhm.
sometimes those that are quiet have learned quiet their mind think
Mm-hmm.
and listen and do a lot of other things that many folks in society seem to have a hard time with.
You mean being quiet and not speaking out?
Now, I'm not saying I don't want the wrong impression of speaking out.
Mm-hmm.
there's a difference between standing up for people and just being selfish.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
To me, those are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and when aren't when a person isn't just acting because they're emotionally charged or heard something that they find offensive or all those trigger things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, it's there's a lot of strength in that
Mm-hmm.
because it when you're able to think clearly in a storm, be able to have that. Go ahead.
See, a lot of times, Badger, and I understand what you're saying, and it does make sense what you're saying, but a lot of times, I find myself, y'all know, I talk. Sometimes I talk a lot. Other times, I just sit back and I just watch, man. I don't see a thing, and people that don't know me would think that I'm silent or shy or whatever. But I'm picking up on certain cues. I'm watching certain things, and a lot of times people will view that as being a weakness because you're not saying anything. It's not a weakness. It's just that I'm gathering what I need to gather first before I start speaking. Because when I speak, I want to have something to say. Does that make sense?
I'll I'll touch on that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Those that now this is not for people to take things the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because there are times where being silent is healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I heard Frank about talking about people being in a abusive situation.
Yes.
Yeah, that ain't the time for silence.
Mm-hmm.
Um, unless you just want silence. Never mind. Um, let's take a left turn. Um, but silence is not. I never understood the concept of how you could say someone that is silent is a weakness
Mm.
because it takes more to control your emotions. Um, I mean, dude, the takes so much to be able to process trauma
Mm-hmm.
and stay calm and deal with just about anything that's thrown at you in
Yeah.
a healthy way
Mm-hmm.
and not just an explosive way or just letting people abuse you or like that's a
You stopped abruptly on me, brother.
yeah, I think something just told me to stop for now.
Okay. Stay right there. Let me got a couple other people that just called and I want to touch on them as well. Let me see who was the next person on the line. I think if I'm not mistaken, it was Christopher. Christopher, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Brother Raheem. How are you?
Hey, doing well. Good morning. Good to have you, sir. And Christopher, tell everybody what's going on today at 6 o'clock. Before we get started, I want to ask you the question, but I want to make sure that they're aware of what's going on today, this evening at 6 o'clock from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Talk to him, Christopher.
Tonight, we'll be ministering the word on DKNY Media. So I encourage you to invite your friends, your family. I believe that the Lord has something for all of us today. We'll be sharing the word from 6 to 7 p.m. Looking forward to just an amazing experience with
Mm-hmm.
you and with the Spirit of God.
Praise
Amen.
God. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, Christopher, is there strength in being silent? Is there strength in being silent and not saying anything? Just sit back. Sometimes you gotta sit back and you gotta watch and observe. But is there strength in that?
Is there strength in being silent?
Yes.
I know the scripture says, be slow to speak. It says, study to be quiet. So there's definitely an opportunity to be strengthened in moments of silence. You
Mhm.
know, there is, but I believe that also it is critical that we speak. You know,
Mhm.
sometimes some people are deemed quiet, and if we're quiet and don't say nothing, it's easy for people to just walk over us.
Mhm.
So we got to know when to be quiet, and we got to know when to speak. I know the proverb said, even a fool when he's quiet is deemed wise. You know,
Mhm.
so there's definitely uh, strength when we learn to be quiet. When we study to be quiet, there's a strengthening, because when you're talking too much, you don't even have time to really be strengthened on the inside, because your
Mhm.
mouth is always running. You know, so yeah, there's spiritual strengthening when we learn to be quiet. I believe that. Yeah.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Jojo, are you still here? I think. Okay. Jojo, are you here?
Hello?
Yes. Jojo.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
All right. Good morning. How you doing, young lady?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Hey, doing well. Doing well. Good to have you. Asking a question: is there strength in being silent? If you're silent, and is there strength in that, or does people look at it or view it as being a weakness? What do you say to that?
I think there's definitely a strength in being silent, especially if you're led by the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So, with that being said, some people, the predatory people, would somewhat look at that as being a weakness, and they would try to prey on you. How do you combat that?
Um, Honestly, all my my faith and how I view myself is I look to the Lord for that. So
Mm-hmm.
if God is leading me to do something and somebody feels some sort of way about it, that doesn't move me because I know what God told me to do.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. So you just be obedient to His word and what He says.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because in your obedience is what saves you.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Cassandra, talk to me.
I'm sorry?
Cassandra, are you there?
Um,
Yes, yes. She was she was spot on. That's the way I feel about it. All God supersedes everything, everybody, you know, what I'm not going to be silent. If God tells me to speak to something, I'm going to say it even if I die
Mm-hmm.
because I said it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the resolve that I have. And I being silent is awesome sometimes, but there have been times throughout history where people had to speak out,
Mm-hmm.
even though they were told to be silent, because they had to deliver the message that God told them to deliver. So, and
Hey,
it
Cassandra,
could
let me
mean
let me
your
let
life.
Cassandra, let me
I
Cassandra,
huh?
let me jump in 1 second,
Yeah.
because I want to make sure I know what you're talking about, but I want to make sure that the clarity is for the listeners as well. You say that it is best sometimes to speak out even when you're told to be silent. Now you're not
To
told
be
by
silent.
yeah, you're not told you're not excuse me, you're not told by God to be silent. It's what people are saying to you, but God is telling you to speak
People,
out.
yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure get the
Yeah.
clarity in that. Okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's exactly what that's why I prefaced it by saying that, God supersedes everybody.
Mm-hmm. Good. Good.
So,
Mm-hmm.
there are times that there would not have been world-changing differences if people had just stayed silent.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing would have changed.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yes.
So, and we're in Black History Month. We can even take Dr. King.
Mm-hmm.
And he believed in peaceful and all that. But there were times that he was told, nigga, shut your mouth.
Hey,
And he
hey.
kept right on talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
come on, Raheem.
Yeah. Come on. Go ahead. You ain't said it wrong. Go ahead.
You
Go
know,
ahead.
they told him, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
kept on talking. He
Mhm.
kept on talking and he kept on walking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I love the silent thing, but it's a time to cry loud and spare not too.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want people to get that confused that, silence is not always golden.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm just leave it right there. Silence is not always golden.
Okay. Curtis, talk to me, man. What's on your heart?
I don't have too much more to say right here. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a time to speak. It's a time to speak. It's time to be quiet. It's a time to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta know.
How do you distinguish
and
between them?
understand
How
what
do you
time
distinguish
it is.
between them? How do you distinguish between them, Curtis? So there's two different alleys that you're speaking of right now. So how do you distinguish when is that?
I mean, for me, it's what's the purpose?
Mm-hmm.
What's the purpose? If me speaking is going to hinder, then that's a time for me to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
If me remaining silent is going to hinder, then that's time for me to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Know when you open your mouth to try and get something to eat.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And know when you've been greedy.
Okay. Got you. That's good. Frank, talk to me.
Our definition of things are so off sometimes, and until you live some life,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we think that person that is very active and you see them, you hear them before you see them. They want you to see them,
Mm-hmm.
that they're strong. A lot of times those people are afraid.
Yeah.
That guy that you see that he's kind of quiet, he's off to himself. You think he's weak until somebody whisper in your ear, "I don't know, man. Please leave that cat alone."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Leave him alone. We think the guy that is the biggest is the baddest. For Thanksgiving, I had a ton of people in my house, and I got a gym in my basement, and all the guys went downstairs and they lifting weights, and anytime you get that going, okay, it goes from just lifting weights to a competition.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, my thinnest son is the strongest joker in this house.
Mm.
I mean, that joker is just strong. And you should have seen the look on people's faces. But he works out every day. He's just thin.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I mean, whatever you want to put on that bar. And he probably says very few words, or he'll rack it up. And I've noticed something as we've been going through this broadcast. You have people reference, my daddy said, my mama said, my grandma said, my auntie said. And I guarantee you that the majority of those people were probably people of very few words,
Mm-hmm.
but they meant what they said.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we have to wonder, are you going to have so many words that nobody remember anything that you said? But let what you say and what you do, let it be of quality. And people will remember that. People will be quoting you years and years and years after you're gone, because it will impact them.
Mm-hmm. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. You're listening to DKM Media Group and Associates, and this is the Morning Glow. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, from 7 until 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So like, share, and subscribe. Do all those things, and invite other people to come and join us as well. We love to have the dialogue. We just love having the dialogue, and we do this every day. Let me go to Annie from Mississippi. Annie from Mississippi, let me unmute your line there. What's on your heart, sis? We talking about silence and how important is silence.
Silence is very important. You know, in certain situations,
Mm-hmm.
there's a time to be quiet, and there's also a time to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But when the Spirit of the Lord tell you to just be quiet, you know, it's best to submit to that and not to try to, you know, use your own words. Let me give you another example right here. I have seen many ministers that's preaching the word, and as long as the anointing is on them, they're saying what God says. You know, if you can tell, because there's so much power behind it. But when you go into continue to minister, and you keep on going, and you all of a sudden, you know, you can tell when it's you and when it's the anointing of God speaking. I spoke this past Sunday at this Women's Sisterhood program,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have to take all day. I just spoke what thus said the Lord, and I sat down, because if I go any further, it would have been me in my flesh talking. So I just said what the Lord gave me to say. I didn't try to imitate or over preach or extend my time, you know. So I ministered what God said, and I took my seat, because I just felt like this is what God wants you to know, and I don't have to give you anything else. Not even another word do I have to utter out of my mouth, because it's me and not God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have to discern it.
Okay, you're breaking up a little bit on me there, Annie. You're breaking up a little bit on me. I don't know whether you're traveling or
I'm sorry.
yeah, but no, you good. I just wanted to let you know. Let me go to Leonard. Leonard, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
I kind of lost track, and I think I was more leaning towards like it's a matter of discipline, and some people struggle with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've learned to gather information and things of that. I remember as a kid, when adults were speaking, you wasn't supposed to be speaking.
Yes, truth.
And I would hear my mother and them comment. They'll be talking about me because they, you know, I would be in the room or something with adults, and I would hear them say, "He's so unconcerned," because that's not my business. That's adults' business.
Mm-hmm.
So in those situations, if I was going to be around adults and learn and glean from their behavior, I would observe. That's, you know, to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And even situations like one, if my mother is talking or my father is talking, I'm listening. I'm not talking. So that's how I grew up. I've simply learned more by observation. You know, I know some people will challenge you with, some people challenge other things, and they don't have no facts, and they be just as wrong as they can be.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just wanted to fight.
Yeah.
They just wanted to fight. They didn't want to be right.
Mm-hmm.
They just wanted to fight.
Leonard,
So,
a lot of times, are that the loud ones?
that
Are that the
discipline.
ones that be extremely loud as well? Because I've told many people, man, because you're loud don't mean you're right. You just are loud and wrong.
But you know, there's a lot of different people, a lot of different sayings and things of that nature. What's true is true,
Mm-hmm.
and if it's not, it's not. So how you're using, to me, this issue about speaking and talking, that's why I consider it discipline.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a problem, that's where you need to work. That's what you need to work on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If that's your problem.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody don't have that problem.
Exactly. That's
I'm,
good.
I'm usually quiet for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
People would assume that I'm just talking no, if you catch me on stage, I'm talking like one. I'm on a show. I'm supposed to talk.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time I'm listening.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Let me go to Christopher O'Quady. Then we go in this order: Christopher O'Quady, Jojo. Then we're gonna go to Tucson. Christopher, talk to me, brother. Is there strength in silence?
Absolutely. I believe that we learn more when we're quiet
Mm-hmm.
than when we're speaking. You know, somebody says we have one mouth and two ears.
Mm-hmm.
We have to listen. We have to listen. We have to hear. You know, think about the kingdom of God. It said faith comes by hearing. You know, and once we hear, then we have the responsibility to speak. You know, once you hear, then you can't let nothing stop you. You
Yes.
can't let people shut you down.
Mhm.
I remember the apostles, when God began to speak with them, the leaders of that time said, you can't speak anymore in this name, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They beat them, they put them in prison, and there's something very powerful Peter said, is it better for us to obey you or to obey God, you know? So when we start hearing what God is speaking to us, we have the responsibility not to be quiet. So there's a time that we have to be quiet. Why am I quiet? You know, I'm quiet because I need to hear. I need to hear what to speak. And sometimes the reason that we live reactionary is that people control our dialogue because we're not quiet. They control our dialogue. They control because they are the originator of what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want the media to be the originator of what I'm talking about. I want to hear wisdom that's coming from God. So as they begin to speak, what I'm speaking might be totally contrary to what they're saying. Yeah, I love just when you read about the Gospels and how Jesus spoke. You know, we can see clearly in John chapter 3 when Nicodemus came to him. You know, we know that you are man come from God because no man can do these things except God be with him. You know, it's like all of a sudden he took this whole dialogue to a whole different place. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and spoke from what the Father was saying. He wasn't reacting to what Nicodemus was saying, but he was speaking to the very need of Nicodemus' life. So I believe that when you're silent, you begin to hear the voice of God and stop reacting to the voice of man. You can, if you open up your spirit to receive from him,
Yes.
you can get wisdom from God to speak. So one thing I've learned, my brothers and sisters on this line, I've learned not to live reactionary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've learned not to live reactionary and I've also learned that no matter how controversial what I'm hearing in my spirit is, it is critical that I say it and let the chips fall where they may. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yesterday we had a dialogue, and I told you I was contemplating about saying something, and I said it. And somebody came for me because I said it, you know, and because they were offended because I used the word fat, you know, and I really struggled, you know, but I struggled so much to use that word because, but it's what I heard in my spirit and I said it.
Mm-hmm.
So those of you that are here, if you hear something and you know that God is speaking to you, or don't try to change it. Say it like you said it. You know, and leave it right there. And Maybe he wants to save one person, and that's all you needed to do.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Jojo, talk to me. What's on your heart?
I kind of agree with a lot of what everyone is saying. First, the Bible does speak about not speaking to fools because they will despise your prudent words. That's in Proverbs.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in Titus, he instructs us to avoid foolish controversies and arguments and quarrels.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the most important thing is just being led by God. You need to know when he is saying be quiet and when he is saying to speak. So I agree with the young lady earlier who said we need to speak. We do. But also if he's instructing us to be quiet, we need to be quiet. A little while ago, I believe that God was leading me to tell somebody something, and I was back and forth about it because, I felt a little underdeveloped, and I'm like, Lord, I haven't done this. I feel like you getting me out my comfort zone. And he led me to some place in the Bible, where he was talking about, if you don't do what I asked you to do, then you are in disobedience and their blood will be on your hands.
Yes.
Now, what they do, what I told you to say is on them, but you need to do what I tell you to do. So I do believe it is the importance of both. If he's leading you to speak, be obedient. If he's leading you to be silent, be obedient.
How difficult?
Amen.
How difficult is that? Because I love what you said, and I love how you verbalized it. But can that be difficult sometimes?
Most definitely. It can be difficult both ways. It was very difficult for me to go to this person who, knew me in a different time of my life. And now I'm coming as a saved person with these words. It was very difficult. And sometimes it is difficult when God says, shut your mouth. And I have to say, all right, Lord, I'm going to be quiet.
Okay. Okay. That's good. That's good. Tucson, what are you hearing, brother?
The wisdom of silence. There's a lot of, and I know sometimes we just feel like we got to say something, but you don't have to.
Are those the times we should
I was looking at
practice
something.
that silence? Are those the times, a lot of times, that we need to practice that silence? We feel like we got to say something. I got to say, you disrespected me, or whatever the case. Is that the time where we should practice that silence that we're talking about?
Yeah, especially when it seems like we're in a time we have to defend ourselves, because we like to defend ourselves. Just shut up. Just don't say that. Let me tell you why I say that. And when Herod saw Jesus, he was exceeding glad, for he was desirous to see him for a long season, because he heard many things of him, and he hoped to have seen some miracles done by him. Then he questioned with him in many words, but he answered him nothing. Luke 23, 8 and 9. A brief questionary period with Herod, and he ain't said a word. Because then the chief priests and scribes come and made some accusations against him. I guess that's the scripture where we have developed, and we say, and he never said a mumbling word. I guess that's what we got that from. He said a word. A lot of times when people make accusations, especially when they're false, we try to defend. Why are you trying to defend something that ain't true? You sure must make yourself seem silly. When you feel like you just got to say something. I remember this younger, he wasn't that young, but he was a younger pastor that somebody put his name out there. That the less you say, the better it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he felt like he just had to say something. You know what he did?
What'd he do?
Dug a bigger hole for him. Dug a bigger hole for himself.
Mm.
Whether it was true or not, it didn't make no difference no more.
Yeah.
Because you tried to defend it. You said it wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
But you just had to defend it. And the more you defended it, the more it put fuel on the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Shut your mouth. Shut up. Because if it ain't true, it'll prove itself wrong.
Yeah. Time has a way
Just
of
shut
doing
up.
that. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people that it is their business to dig up mess, to cause confusion. They make it their business. Every day they're looking for something in somebody else's life, trying to keep people off of them. Shut your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's best.
Wow.
That's the best thing you can do. Shut up. Let me tell you something else, Raheem. I know I'm out of time by now. Sometimes we need to. You wonder why everybody know your business, because you put it out there.
Yeah. You told it yourself.
Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
The art of shutting up. I know it's an ugly word to tell somebody to shut up, but you ought to be quiet.
But see, and we were using the word silence, and Toussaint came right back and just shut up. Oh Lord Jesus. Okay. Let's keep this thing going. Badger, talk to me, brother. And after you, I'm gonna play a commercial. Then we're gonna change the topic. What's on your heart, Badger?
I was thinking about like the whole concept about silence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And part of talking, which is talking is communication.
Mm-hmm.
A silent act can speak louder than any word spoken.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I feel at times that people don't always think about how strong silence can be. Like let's say if you're on a bus or you're at a concert or whatever, and you see a pregnant woman or an elderly person, just silently get up and let them have your seat.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no telling for the people around you that might spark something,
Mm-hmm.
and they end up doing it at another place. So I feel like talking gets associated with just speaking words.
Mm-hmm.
But the body, a person's behavior, a person's actions can speak so much louder.
Absolutely.
And can have a longer lasting impression than anything that gets spoken.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Well, we're about to change this topic. Do anybody have Yes, sir.
Before we move on, Toussaint has a Connie Corso, and I've trained dogs the majority of my life, and part of the training and the verbiage has been in German, and I would get up and take my dogs out of the kennel to the park or wherever early in the morning, 4:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, because there wouldn't be people around to encounter my dogs, because the majority of my dogs been very big dogs, pressers, bulldogs, dogs like that. And I didn't want them around people. I wanted to, train off leash and everything else. It was just safer. So I was up one morning walking my dog. Just happened to have him on the collar. I see this guy about a block away. on the same side of the street that I was on. So I crossed the street. He crossed the street. I crossed back over. He crossed back over. I got in the middle of the street. He got in the middle of the street. I said, okay, well, there's nothing else I can do now. I've done everything I could do. And so when he got closer to me, he said, you got that M&F dog? I said, yeah, man, I got my dog. He said, you better. I got a 140-pound bulldog that has been fully attack trained. And I got me. He's out there by himself. But as he walked past me, Raheem, I saw a 45 in the back of his waist. So he's trying to bait me into a confrontation. So he could either kill my dog or kill both of us. A lot of times, you being silent will save your life.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's good. That's good. Willa!
Good morning, morning glow. Good morning, Raheem.
Good morning, Willa.
Good morning, Frank.
How you doing this
Yeah,
morning?
whatever.
You know, I love your stories, Frank. I mean, you got a story for almost every commentary.
Got a lot of life. Got a lot of life. Got a lot of
I
life.
love your
And those are
stories. I love
those are the clean ones. Those are the clean ones, Willa. I got a lot of life.
Amen. Amen. I'm glad we're on the clean show.
There you go.
Amen.
There you go.
Hey, Willa, I'm asking a question. I'm going to change the topic. But I'm asking a question right now. Is there strength in silence? What do you say to that, Willa?
Oh, you know what, Raheem? Like I said, it is so funny how God works. I'm speaking this weekend, and my subject is taming the tongue. Taming the tongue. You see how this just lines up
Yes.
with more experience and what God's trying to pour into me. And is there strength? The Bible says that no man can tame the tongue. No man, only God can. Because we as humans, we've tamed all the animals, had them jump through hoops. We've trained a lot of other things, but we can't train each other in our managing on what we say and what we speak. And Frank was so on target. You know, that's why it's so important we have to ask God for wisdom. Because a lot of times, there are sometimes that we need to just be silent and then don't allow people to get under our skin. See, when we allow people to get under our skin, Raheem, we've given them too much power over me.
Yes.
I'm having a great day, a good day. Then why would I allow somebody who don't even matter to my life to make me have a bad day? Does that make sense to you?
No.
That makes so much sense. Somebody who can't change nothing, somebody who can't add nothing to my life, the life that they haven't given me, then why would I give them so much power over me?
That's good. That's good.
I'll tell you, Raheem, I got so much more to that, but I'm saving it for Sunday because that is taming the tongue.
Taming the
But
tongue.
yes. We
That's
need
good.
Holy Spirit in order for us to do that because it will put us in a lot of danger.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Absolutely. Well, I'm about to play one of my commercials right now. We're gonna change the topic when we come back. So y'all take a listen to this right here, and I'm gonna let it speak for itself. Y'all listen.
Hello, my name is Raheen, your favorite real estate agent. I would love to have just a few minutes to talk to you about the possibilities of you buying or selling your real estate. There are no commitments in a conversation, just an exchange of information, and hopefully, we can end in an agreement as to whether or not we can move forward. Give me a call at 472-223-9853. Let's talk. The results could change your life in a very positive way. I am Raheen, your favorite real estate agent. Thank you for listening.
470-223-9853. 9853. This is Raheem, your favorite real estate agent. Give me a call. Let's talk about it. No obligation. You're not obligated to anything. We just sit down for a few minutes, talk about it, and talk about the possibilities. And if for whatever reason we want to move forward, we can. If we want to just part ways, we can do that as well. You ready to change the topic? Cassandra, are you there? Cassandra, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Throughout history, and this is Black History Month, so we're gonna tackle a little bit of that right now. Throughout, who has worked harder throughout history than African American?
Raheem,
Yes. Could you hear me?
you real low. I didn't hear it.
Okay. Throughout history,
Throughout history, I heard that part.
throughout history, who has worked harder than African American to be successful? Well, just to make it, survive, or whatever title you want to put on it. Who has worked harder?
I just got through going through some research, and from my studying, I cannot find very many people that worked as hard as Black people to be successful, to and this is, I don't know, Raheem, whether this makes sense, but we're here in America, for the ones that are in America, we're here in America, and we have to do 10 times better just to be considered average to a lot of people. Just average. Not we listen, we can excel in any area, right? But the impact on this country is little to none as far as they're concerned. As far as they're concerned.
Exactly.
So as we built this country, as we lost our lives building this country, it means absolutely nothing to some people, and they see it as nothing. They see us as nothing.
Yeah.
And that has always amazed me. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to end. I was on the train the other day, and there was a lot of people because it was rush hour time. So there was a lot of people getting off from work, and all I saw a couple of white people here and there, but I saw the wariness on the faces of Black and Latino, Hispanic men and women. I saw they were sleeping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just exhausted from the day, and that's why I get so angry when they say all they want to do is live off of the government. Shut up! Shut up! If you don't know what you're talking about, shut up.
Yeah.
And that is the stereotype that they have tried to place on us for years. That we are lazy, we don't want to work for anything, and that is the biggest lie that has ever been told.
Yes. That's good. Curtis, talk to me, man. Who has worked harder throughout history? Who has worked harder to be successful, to make it, than the African American?
Nobody.
That's it? That's it?
I don't have to say behind that.
Wow.
You know why I don't have nothing to say behind that?
Why is that?
Because any person with sound mind and judgment can look at the history of this country. What is true is true. What is true is true.
Why is it true?
I'm going to say this again. any person with a sound mind and judgment
Mm-hmm.
can look at the history of this country and see the proof right there in the pudding.
Mm-hmm.
If you're willing to actually look at the history,
That part right there. That
if
part.
you
That part.
if you're willing to
Mm-hmm.
look at what is true,
Mm-hmm.
not the made up history, not the whitewashed history, not the history that
They want you to see.
that deem a particular group of people so successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'll find that, oh no, that they've been lying. But when you look at what is true, you'll find that, hold on, no. These people are some hard-working folks.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny to me that Cassandra was speaking on riding on that train the other day when I was taking me and my wife. We was going to her pre-op, and we rode past maybe 3 or 4 different locations, and the guys was working on the streets,
Mm-hmm.
right? And as we rolled by and we saw those crews, my wife looked at me, she said, Rocky. I said, yeah. She said, am I seeing things, or is every crew that we done roll past either black or brown?
Mm.
And it was crazy she mentioned that, because I was actually thinking that in my mind, like, oh no. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's this unknown but known narrative out there that all we doing is setting and collecting welfare and you know, and when she asked, she made that statement, I'm like, wow. I remember the first time, like one of the first times Badger came onto the show. And I remember Badger talking about when he was trying to get some assistance. And all his life he had been taught that we was absorbing
Mm-hmm.
the larger bulk of the assistance. And now that he's in the system and he's old enough to understand, he looking at the numbers and he said, hold on, no, that's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for years, our people have been a people where even when it's a 2-parent household, a lot of times if both of them if they want any level of success, they both got to be putting some hours in somewhere.
Absolutely. Wrap it up, Curtis. Got to keep this thing moving, brother. Mm-hmm.
Or they both working 2 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
We have been the only people that have been asked to work for a living, but be the working poor.
Wow. Let me go to Jojo. Jojo, what's on your heart? What do you think about that? Name anybody that has worked harder than African American to make it in this world we're living in.
I'm not really sure about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we've had to work harder in this country because of where we started from. And he's right. There's a big misconception that majority of Black people are on welfare. If you look at the statistics, there are way more white people on
Yes. Yeah.
welfare. Actually,
Mhm.
welfare is actually more. White people are more dependent on it than we are. So I
Mhm.
think where we started from, we've had to work a lot harder. But you know, I am multi-race, so
Mhm.
I have family members that aren't just Black, and
Yes. Mhm.
I think it depends on the people. I see lazy white people. I see lazy any color, but I also see
Yeah.
hardworking people of variety of colors. So,
Exactly.
you know, I
Exactly.
do think we had a little bit harder where we started from
Mhm. Mhm. That's good.
because we all know this country was built on the backs of slaves.
Mhm. Absolutely.
But in today's time, with everything that's available to us, you know, it's all on the person.
Mhm. That's good. That's good. Badger, talk to me.
And I don't know if I should respond.
Why not?
Like, I'm just being transparent.
Okay.
Because I'm not very good at the comparison stuff.
Mhm.
Um, I come from a Native American background, and my wife comes from a Jewish background.
Mhm.
So we have the experiences and a lot of the knowledge of what our people has gone through.
Mhm.
So,
But if if
but
if if you being as observative as you are, Badger, and if you look at what you see, what will what you see? Mute your phone there, Curtis. What will what you'll see say to that? To the question that we're asking? Would it say anything at all?
that it was a horrible experience,
Mm.
and that there's not enough credit given
Mm-hmm.
to the contributions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't, I don't. It's not an easy question for me,
Mm-hmm.
given my research and the experiences I'm aware of. Like,
Okay.
because I don't want to make someone that's listening that might be of either of our heritages either
Mm-hmm.
have their brain turn it into a comparison thing. If you get what I
You
mean.
you don't want to minimize the contributions of everybody. Is what basically what I'm hearing you say. You don't want to minimize the contributions,
Right.
and we
I don't
want
want
to.
to minimize, but I
Yeah.
also don't want to take away from the
Mm-hmm.
struggles
Yeah.
and the contributions and all of that either, because
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah.
all plays a factor.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Christopher, talk to me. Christopher, you there? Tucson, talk to me. Christopher may have stepped away for a second. Talk to me, Tucson.
Well, Raheem, you asked a question that's going to make me mad.
Don't get mad, brother. Don't get mad.
Well, upset then, ticked off.
Angry.
It just, well, no, well, yeah, I can get angry. I got that room. They gave me a little room to get angry. But don't make it simple. I just see this struggle that some people have inflicted on others
Mm-hmm.
to get what they want done for free. And then they got the nerve to call it, after getting it for free, sharecropping
Mm.
for a meal, for some scraps.
Mm-hmm.
And out of getting things for free and then for scraps, they're given promises that they had to struggle for. They told me if you got to be, they used to tell us you got to be twice as good
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
at it. And here we are now, 2 in some of them mind to level the playing field. They have to get rid of some things that makes it fair.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot one of them, but they say that if he's a black pilot, it's probably because of diversity and inclusion. That's how he got it. But it ain't easy to find no plane. You ever tried it, dummy? I mean, who thinks that there must be a way to fix the heart
Mm-hmm.
and make it pump better, but somebody else get the credit. Try to get the credit for
Yes,
it.
exactly.
I'm getting tired of picking this cotton, so there's a cotton gin.
Mm-hmm.
Combing hair, red lights. And then you get to a point where you make a whole community, and they see it prospering, and they burn that sucker to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That must be hard, right?
Yeah.
I grew up in a town, little old town called Opelousas. Used to have some prosperous people that look like me.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember over and over again, and I got to remind myself, and they call it, look it up, the Opelousas Massacre.
Massacre, yes.
Massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Must be hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
It must
Wow.
be.
Must be. Absolutely. Leonard, talk to me, brother. Leonard, you there?
Raheem, you hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you now. Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me, Raheem?
Loud and
Okay.
clear, brother. Loud and
Oh,
loud and
about the
clear.
question you asked?
Yes. Who?
Oh yeah, I think it's a very subjective issue.
Okay. Talk to me.
And actually it was the statement itself is narrow
Mm-hmm.
because it begs for an argument.
Explain.
And
Explain that.
and
Explain that part.
as a leader,
Leonard,
say that
explain that
again.
part. Explain that part. How does it beg for an argument?
Because unless somebody just handed something to you, you work for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say that. So what, you think that these people, everybody else don't work hard?
That wasn't my question. I said who have worked harder. I never said I never said other people did not work. I never said that. That was not a part of my question at all. I said who has worked harder throughout history than the African American.
It's subjective. I don't know what, some people just think being black is hard.
Is it?
Not for me.
What makes it so easy for you and harder for other people?
Because my worth is not subjective to what white folks is talking about and doing.
Okay. Well, let's look at this. Let's view this thing through historical data. Looking at throughout history, the historical data of what we're talking about. Can you say that everybody has worked on the same level?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Now, when you put racism in, you add a different aspect to it.
Well, that changes the answer then, doesn't it?
There's a lot of black folks that haven't worked as hard as other black folks.
Okay. Okay.
And some folks, everything's been given to them. I don't exploit and pimp racism. History is what it is.
And what is
but
history?
To say someone has worked harder than someone else is just for argument.
Wow. Leonard, that's your take. And like
Everybody
I
that
said,
has
let me say this, Leonard. Let me say, Leonard,
accomplished something
Leonard. Let me say
has
this.
worked for it.
Leonard. Let me say this to you. Let me say this to you, brother. First and foremost, like I always say on here, man, everybody have their own opinion and have the right to have their opinion. I'm not here to give anybody their opinion. I'm not here to do that. That's not what I do. But what I do is have my opinion as well. Now, whether they line up with the opinion of everybody else's or not, that's besides what we're talking about. You have your opinion, brother. That's how you feel about it. I view it a little differently. I view it vastly differently. But at the same time, you know, we both got our opinion. You have the right to have yours. I have the right to have mine. And we're gonna at the end of the day, we're gonna go have lunch and have a good time. You know, we're not gonna let it come between us. But at the end of the day, we just don't agree on that. Life is life, brother. Life is life. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Oh, I was finished.
Okay. Let me go to Willa. Frank, you up next, brother.
Raheem, I knew you was coming to me.
Yeah. You knew. Go ahead. Talk to me.
I knew. You know, first of all, we need to understand how do you measure success? People don't measure it all the same way.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. And so as individuals, you got to look at how do we measure success? A lot of people said it too. You know, if it's based on money or what you have, material things, then they're measuring it based on the temporary things of this life. But if you measure success on things that are not tangible, should I say, then to me that's totally different. But I agree with that young lady. I don't know what was her name.
JoJo.
She said that she was a buyer. Yeah, I agree with her most definitely. You know, and then I mean, like I said, it just depends on how we measure success. I heard one person say that success is not based on what you have now; it's based on how far it took you to get there. So I even totally agree with that. Everybody knows becomes successful by work. They sometimes, if you base it on money, they inherit because they got a lot of money. So you gotta see how you look at that, because you can look at that so many ways, so many.
Yeah.
So you can't really measure who has done it the most if you're looking at it differently. So that's the way I look at it, Raheem.
Okay.
And that's I'm gonna land the plane right there.
Okay. Do you think there has been and you said plane is amazing. You said it. Do you think it has been an even plane? Do you think it has been an even plane throughout history for everybody?
Well, we already know that, Raheem.
Okay. I'm the question asker. I gotta ask the questions. Let me go to our Frank.
Yeah. We already know that.
Okay. Cool. Good. Frank, talk to me, brother.
You know, the one thing that's so important is that you ask God to give you a heart that lines up with His heart. And I can be so hypocritical when I look at history, because historically, what happened to us as a people was heinous. It was very, very, very evil. But it does not allow me to forget. When God softened my heart, it does not allow me to forget what was done to the Native Americans. It doesn't allow me to forget what was done to Chinese Americans in the coal mines, where they used them to see if that's Willow now. Remember HR. Remember, I'm gonna call you later on this afternoon, right here.
Yes, sir.
So that doesn't allow me to forget what was done to the Chinese Americans when they were sending them in coal mines because of the gases that were there that would kill people. And people died. That doesn't allow me to forget the Holocaust. So did we suffer? Absolutely. Was it unjust?
Absolutely. And have we worked hard? 100%. We have. But I'm not going to minimize because see, I'm looking at this from the perspective of a black man. And then even in that, I remember my pastor who, before he began to head a house, he worked in stocks, and he did very well, very successful, had a lot of money. And he said that one day his son was walking through the house singing this rap song. I don't know what the rap song, but it was something like, we don't eat if we don't do this, and you got to kill a joker to keep the peace. And he told his son, that's not your testimony. And I'm right there, man. My parents put me and my siblings in a situation where we didn't struggle. So I don't that same scenario of how hard it was. That's never been my experience. It has not. Have I experienced racism? Yes. But even in 2026, 2025, I'm watching the news where they were running up behind people of different minorities, old women, and men kicking them in the back to the ground because they were of a different race. So yeah, we've had it hard. Slavery was horrible. We've been, profiled and everything else, but there's been so many other people that have experienced and is still experienced what they're doing now to immigrants, Raheem. That is some of the nastiest stuff I've ever seen in my life. Using a 5-year-old kid to bait people to come out of their house and pulling an old man where they said they expected somebody was in his house out of his house in his underwear and taking him in, and he didn't even commit a crime. So I don't want to minimize somebody else's struggle and not denying that what happened to us was unjust. And yes, we did struggle. But just like that other young lady just said, she sees it from both sides. So we have to be sensitive with everything we went through. Had a lot of other people went through a whole lot too.
And that's what Badger I was talking about. We don't want to minimize any part of anything that anybody has gone through. That's not the point of this question that we have right now, to minimize any horrors that a person has gone through.
But it implies that indirectly, Raheem.
If that be the case,
when you say that
if that be the case,
harder,
if that be the case, it's not intentional.
It applies that. That's why Leonard said
Frank,
it pulls towards an argument.
It wasn't intentional. It's just I'm looking at what it is because of what it is, and because of the month that we're in right now. I pose this particular question to open up the lines of the dialogue.
Well, we're just giving you our opinion.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm open to that.
Okay.
I'm definitely open to that. But again, I have to tell you that it was not intentional at all. There was nothing intentional in regards to that. Let me go to Cassandra.
Hey Ryan, I'm here.
Oh, Christopher, man, I thought you had dipped down on me. Talk to me, brother. We asking a question. Who has worked harder throughout history than an African American? What do you say to that?
I'll come from a different perspective.
because there's been slavery before.
Yes.
The Jews went through slavery, but I'll say this to you: what was done to the African American or to the Africans that were brought here?
Yes.
I don't think there's anything in humanity that parallels to it right now that I can think of.
Truth.
The dehumanizing of a people. People were enslaved, but to dehumanize them, to say that they're three-quarter less than humans,
to strip their identity completely and totally, take away everything from them that possibly could make them human, destroy their sense of family, make the man into breeding, whatever, I don't know what to call it. Just make men breed, tear down families. Like some of these things that were done to our people takes the African American and puts him in a whole different level. I know we don't want to talk about it in that dimension, but if you think about what was done to the people,
Yes.
it wasn't like you just took me and made me a laborer. That's fine. That's bad in itself. Taking me from and just make me a laborer. But let me still be human. Let me still have my family. Let me still have my language. Let me still have my sense of identity.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Amen.
But the system that did that took this diabolical thing to a different dimension, and now here you are. Here are these people, and they've been called all kind of different things. They've been called colored. They've been called, all this while seeking and striving to get identity are people that are not valued until they are successful. We're not somebody. It's until you get to that level that you're doing something, you're running great, you're playing great basketball, you've achieved something, then people now celebrate you as you're somebody.
Exactly.
But the day you're born, the moment you're born, there is not just this. I don't know how to explain it to you, but that's where I'm coming from. Right? So when I'm answering your question, I said, it's harder. It's harder for someone that thinks that when I get there, then I'll become something. That someone that from the first day they are born, they're like, yeah, from when they are 5 years old, they speak from a whole different place. They're confident. They know who they are. They're not waiting till they become a rapper or a basketball player or move to a new neighborhood. They're born into a neighborhood where they feel safe and they feel protected.
Exactly.
It's hard when you're born in the hood. It's hard when you're born in the projects. It's hard. It's not the same.
Yeah.
So in that level, it's hard when you have to work harder for people to say you're good. It's hard for when you studied and you're brilliant as everybody else. It's hard for you to go. You're good. You're excellent, but everywhere you walk into, it's like you're rejected. It's like there's stamp of rejection on you. It's hard when people reject you just for rejecting you sake.
Exactly. And that's the part right there, Christopher. You hit exactly where I was wanting to go with this. That I would say is a home run, brother, because I don't want to minimize any part of anybody else's sacrifice, struggles, or whatever the case. That's not the intent of this particular question. But the intent of this particular question is to shine a light on what has actually happened and all the horrors that we had as people had to deal with. We had to deal with a lot. And like I said, normally I don't do questions like this, but this is Black History Month. So I say I want to put this one out here and let's just see what happens with it. And there's a lot, man. There's a lot tied into this thing. There's a whole lot. Cassandra, talk to me. I'm sorry, who was that?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Cassandra?
Did you call you? I heard somebody was talking, so I just stopped.
No. Go ahead, Cassandra. I'm gonna circle back around to him. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I just, Chris, man, you got me over here with tears because that's how I feel about our people. That's how I feel about our people. There is no one that has been subjected
Yes.
to the type of horrors that we did.
Mm-hmm.
That they made it hard for us at every turn. I want to ask anybody on here, black, what is your family's name? What was the name of your family member that came over from Africa? What was their name?
They can't tell you.
What I know now, because I did Ancestry, African Ancestry. We did that test. I know now that my people were from the Sierra Leone era. But how many people have been able to research that? How many people know who their ancestors were that came over? And how, man, do you realize how many millions of slaves actually jumped over into the water rather than be subjected to slavery?
Exactly.
I think it was 1.8
Do you
million,
know? Man, it's up there. And then imagine being, like Chris said, stripped of everything that made you a human being. They beat it out of you. They beat it out of you. So, and then gave you their names.
John's son.
Made you,
Jackson.
some people worked until they died in the fields. Let's talk about that. How many worked until they died in the field? Then when they died, they dragged them off, did whatever, and kept it. Well, listen, I've played a slave multiple times in movies, several movies. That is the most heartbreaking thing. And that's what I'm talking about, hard, about us working harder than other people. Ain't nobody been through what we've been through. Ain't nobody been through what we've been. I don't care on any level. Nobody went through what we went through. The Asians, I've cried as I read stories about what they went through. I cried. Any group that was mistreated, but nobody went through what we went through. Everything was stolen from us.
True.
And then now you have a fool in the White House that's trying to take everything again.
Wow. We're going to go to Tucson, then we're going to go to Kurt. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, I don't want to minimize anything myself. I'm not good at it, I don't think. But a lot of people have our pain because of we as a people struggle. The reason why some, even Caucasian women, got an opportunity to vote is because we was fighting for it. I might have got that wrong. Maybe I don't know my history. A man that studies history better than I do. Maybe you know that. We always in the fight, and somebody else benefits from it. Because they don't want to give it to the people that are. It was how many fifths of a percentage of a human being you are in the first place?
3/5, yeah.
3/5.
Yeah.
Ain't that something? You're not even human. Why in the heck they match you with a cow? And you mean to tell me you don't have no struggle? Oh, they struggle too. And I understand that. And I'm not trying to minimize, because I can remember, take a look at how they built railroads. Yeah,
Wow.
You know what I dislike more than anything, Raheem?
What's that?
A cotton picking cotton picker.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Good deal. Let me let me go to Kurt. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother?
You know, bro, you know where I'm on this. You know, God has blessed me in my lifetime to have had to live in the life of Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Elijah Cummings, and Kenyatta Shakur. And hearing everything that I just heard, right? Yes, I feel for those that have gone through all of that. But when you talk about who has worked harder, right? I know where you at, Raheem.
Yeah.
And to my near and different L-Dog, I gotta say it. No, it's not an argument. It's really not.
No.
Because in hearing every single nationality that was called out, right? Every single one of them got paid. Every single one of them got the option or the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. and get their check. See, there's things that we forget. There's things that we like to leave out because we have amassed a job decent life for ourselves. It's only by the grace of God that you was able to do it. Because if it was up to them, you wouldn't even have half of the life that you got.
Say it.
It's only by the grace of God that you got it. But all at the same time, everybody that was in the same situation for which we established, you seeing the things on TV that's making you feel bad, maybe that's your spirit, maybe that's your ancestors drugging you up and saying, hey, look, that's what happened to us and it was worse. But the truth be told, everybody got paid except for us. Even the slave owners got paid. And then on top of that, let me go on and throw this little nugget out there. You know, I'm hoping that it lands somewhere. The slave master got paid 3 times.
Yes.
He got paid from the labor for free. When they shut it down, according to the compromise, he got paid again for the property that he lost. The third time he got paid was, you know what? He sat down, took out an ink pen, something to write with, and he filled out that form, and he sent it up to New York, right there in Manhattan, in the financial district, right there where all the insurance companies was, and he filed an insurance claim on the property he lost. Everybody done got some form of reparations. Everybody. Except for us. Except for us. We got a bunch of acts. We ain't got one law yet. The closest thing you can think about is the anti-lynching law. That's the closest thing you can think about. That was in, what, 84? 86? We ain't got paid. Why y'all think they murdered Dr. King? Because Dr. King said we will be going to D.C. to pick up our check. We tired of getting checks that when we go to the bank, they come back insufficient funds. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. I know we done arrived. We done arrived to a place. But we ain't got to our final destination. And we ain't going to get there until these folks settle up the accounts that's due.
Good deal. Good deal. We got a little business we got to take care of. We're going to start off with Cassandra. What is the hot topic of the day, Toussaint? You'll get that on your way home. And then, voila, we got to have the word of the day. So, Cassandra, get us started. Cassandra, you there?
I'm sorry. You couldn't hear me. I'm talking to the mute button. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm just talking to the mute button. Yeah, the person that I wanted to talk about is Jesse Jackson, and he passed recently. We did talk about this.
Yes.
But when you look back at the legacy that he left, and I was reading some posts that people posted about him, and you're always going to have your negative folks saying whatever they wanted to say, but this man accomplished so much. And one guy was like, well, what did he accomplish? He worked with so many different organizations to help bring changes when it came to work, when, labor, when it came to acknowledging women, when it came to voting. All you have to do is read up on this man, and I posted a picture on my page with him, and I've had the opportunity to speak to him on 2 occasions, working with SCLC. So is please, guys, don't let anybody tell you who someone is. Do your own research.
Absolutely.
Do your own research. This man was iconic in the civil rights movement. He was there the day before on the balcony with Dr. King. I think it was the day before he was killed. He marched arm in arm with Dr. King at Selma on Bloody Sunday. I mean, he was always there in the mix, doing what he could to help make changes happen. And I'm honored that I have been able to actually sit down and have a conversation with this man and powerful orator. I mean, when he talks, you get chills. I mean, that's a gift. When he talks, you literally get chills. And I'm so honored to have met him, to have been able to eat at a table and fellowship with him. And so let's not let anybody negate the people that have done whatever. Ain't nobody perfect, but he has done great work to help his people.
Good deal. Good deal.
Jesse Jackson.
Excuse me, Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson. You are somebody. Let me go to Toussaint. Talk to me. You'll get this on your way home, brother.
I don't know what to say today after all of the conversations that we could have, and we got to get something on our way home. I guess just me. I got to get something when I get home. And I don't stand in the judgment seat because all have sinned and come short of his glory. If we get to the point where we seek to give him glory rather than ourselves, we'll probably get somewhere. But you know what we're good at? And we'll probably get that when we get home. We're good at being ditch diggers.
Wow.
Digging ditches for everybody but ourselves.
Wow.
You know how we pray when our daughter gets pregnant out of wedlock, but when somebody else's child gets pregnant out of wedlock, it's a shame before God. Ain't that something? You know what will come up in every one of our lives, and I shut up. You get it when you get home. It's gonna be your turn one day.
Wow.
Because you short too of his glory. You get that when you get home.
Exactly. Let me clear my throat. Willow! I ain't clear good enough there.
You ain't got it yet.
I know it. I know. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Getting it, Raheem.
Hey, Willow, we need a word of the day. We gotta have a word of the day. Talk to me.
Oh, for sure, every day. I don't know. I've just been constantly studying the book of James.
Mm-hmm.
James, who was the half brother of Jesus, of the son of Mary and Joseph. And I like what Tucson said. When I say everything lines up, it always lines up. God wants to see how we act during trials and various times in our lives. The question is, he said, where are the people that believe God will display his awesome power through us? People that believe God will make us an example of his goodness to show the world that he is God. That's a question.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to read about his power. It's good to remember his power. It's good to talk about his power. But the most important thing is to experience his power.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the word of today, right here.
Good deal. Good deal. Wow. It's been a great broadcast. It's been a great broadcast. Anybody got anything they want to say before we get out of here?
I do, Raheem.
Okay.
I am always going to I said this years ago, before I'm black, I'm a Christian. And my blackness comes out of my relationship with God. When the word asks the question, who is your neighbor? It's not the person right next door to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way that we are to treat everybody. Not only in deed, but in your heart, how you see them. Be concerned about how they feel. And when this topic came up, I knew there was going to be name calling. I knew there was going to be anger, because it's very emotional. When you begin to compare pain and hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, Scripture tells me to love. I'm always going to do what it is that God tells me to do, in spite of what would be easy for man to digest. I can't become the very thing that I hate.
Mm-hmm.
I hate racism. Me like Cassandra, I've marched with Jesse Jackson. I've sat down with Rosa Parks. I understand things and everything that's happened. I think it is horrible. And we will have this spirited conversation. And the word says that we'll walk away and forget what matter of man we are. Why do we still have to struggle with voting rights? Why is it still something that's up for vote? What are we going to do about that? I don't need anybody to give me anything. I need people to stop putting roadblocks before me. There's laws that need to be passed. But it's good to stick out our chests and to scream and holler. It was a young lady that I was walking with, Raheem, that for years and years and years, she could not get over the fact of what had happened with her and her dad. He didn't abuse her or anything else. He just wasn't what she thought a father should be. At some point, she's got to get up.
Mm-hmm.
She's got to, or that thing will cripple her entire life. She's got to get up. And it's so hypocritical, some of the stances that we take.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I can't see people differently and love the way that the Bible demands me to love. I can't,
Right.
I just can't do that. Okay. But I just wanted to publish
Mm-hmm.
who I am.
Good deal.
And I know people will have a problem with that and name call and everything else. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that says more about the individual than it does about me.
Okay. Okay. Christopher?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's on your heart, brother?
No, so here comes the salvation of God. Here comes the salvation of God. When everything has been stripped off, and God said, it's the perfect place to be. It's the perfect place to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I can establish your true identity. Because the reality is that every one of us that stick our chest out and say, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this and that, in order for us to receive his identity, we got to lay down everything that has been stripped from our people. The cross is where the human identity ends and God's identity begins.
Mm-hmm.
The cross is where I bring that thing that have made me feel like I'm better than the next person, and I lay it down. The cross is where I lay down my success. The cross is where I lay down my culture. The cross is where I lay down that which has made me who I am, so that I can embrace who he is. So we're not in a bad place. When I say we, I'm talking about the African American community. You're not in the bad. You're in the greatest place to be, because every one of us got to come through this road where we got to lay down our lives so that we can embrace it. So instead of trying to go back and trying to pick up everything that they took away from us, we got to turn to him who created us and say, now, God, they took all that away from us. Now you tell me who I am. You tell me who I am. So I can't keep comparing myself to them. I can't keep struggling trying to be like them when I've been prepared to be like you.
Mm-hmm.
So what? That doesn't mean that I forget about what it took us to get here. It's just that now I know that everything that has been stripped away has prepared me for something greater, and that something greater is him.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Suffering ain't a competition.
Mm-hmm.
It simply is not. And pain is not a brand.
Mm-hmm.
So I say that so people understand. You should not have to put everybody else down to lift yourself up.
Now, Leonard, did we do any of that today? Put anybody else down?
Well, you the way you posed that statement made it as if it was a competition.
No, and I made
that was
and I made it clear,
victimization.
and I made it clear that was not the intention.
Right.
The intention was to shine light on what has happened, and it's not to say, like I said, we got 10 people. I got 4 daughters. Let me use myself as I have 4 daughters. If one of my daughter falls and scrape her knee or something like that, and scrape her knee, and I say, well, listen, you scrape your knee, but I got a little bit of peroxide, and I'm put it on my other 3 daughters' knees, and you're gonna be all right. I'm not addressing the hurt that the daughter that fell went through. I'm going to the other, trying to be inclusive and include everybody else. I'm trying to include everybody else with this peroxide that I got. Well, the one that needed peroxide is the one that fell. So why would I put peroxide on the other 3 knees when they don't need it? I'm gonna put it on the one that needs it, the one that fell. bandage her up, make sure she's okay. And so I'm not putting my other 3 daughters down. I'm just addressing a need or addressing a hurt that is there for this particular daughter. So I'm not trying to put anybody or say that their struggle, minimize their struggle or minimize anything else that they've gone through. I just know that this daughter fell. This daughter scraped her knee. And so I have peroxide and I have the bandages to help the situation, help the wound. I'm going to put it on that daughter because that's the one that needs it. Go ahead, Leonard.
I mean, I didn't have anything to say about that.
But that's
at all.
Yeah, but see that's my example is that I'm not trying to diminish anything that anybody else has gone through or minimize what they've gone through. But I cannot ignore what my people has gone through. I cannot ignore the pain and the hurt. Like Chris was said, he was so very elegant about how he put it out there, man. We've been stripped of everything, and they're still trying to do it. Like Cassandra said, the cat that's in the White House right now is still trying to strip everything and take everything away. When does it stop? When does it stop? That's all. Curtis, talk to me, brother.
Hey, you know what, Raheem? I'm gonna give you something. I don't want you to put it on your heart because it could drive a man to do some outlandish things. But I just want to throw something out there, man, because both you and I had a dog in the fight. I've been in that fight, and you got a dog in that fight right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just for 1 second. Let me pull this doggone call over. It's just for 1 second. If everybody that's on this phone right now, if you can just follow me, right? Imagine that you have a daughter who is serving in a combat heavy unit in the United States military. And as sad as this is, your daughter becomes a fallen hero. And in her paperwork, she loved the military so much that she has said in her paperwork, I'm leaving all my money to my parents, but I want to bury it in Arlington Cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us are going to honor that. Even though we might got a family plot somewhere, you honor that. So the funeral happens. So it's time to go to the burial site. Y'all in your caravan. You pull into the burial site at Arlington Cemetery. And the plot for which your daughter has been given, there's a statue sitting at the top of that plot. And the statue is the statue of a slave girl being subservient to a slave master. How does that make you feel?
Wow.
Internally, how does that make you feel?
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that your daughter died a hero and her name can't even go up on the doggone screen at the cemetery. How does that make you feel? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not choosing a side. Then again, I am choosing a side. I'm choosing a side between right and wrong. It ain't got nothing to do with black, white, candy stripes. It's right and wrong. Now, if I'm to be a Christian, I gotta stand on what I believe in. And I should always try my best to stand in a space that is right. And if that means speaking truth to power, because the truth that I'm speaking is right and just, I don't see where we got room to make up these excuses as to what is and what ain't. What is right there in our face. What ain't is right there in our face. I'm sorry. I think about Raheem ever since I seen it, bro.
Thank you.
All I keep thinking about is Nisi, man. Like, man, hold on. We got dogs in these fights.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm great to play a character in a soldier's play, opening up April 4th. It's running April 4th to May 3rd. And what's shameful is, as I'm reading through the play right here, I realized that all these black men joined up because they wanted to go and fight. But this country told them they were not good enough. But then again, we would not have won World War II at all if it wasn't for the Tuskegee Airmen, because they could not get into Berlin. They couldn't get in there. They couldn't fly one bombing campaign into Berlin. All of them was getting shot out the sky until the Tuskegee Airmen said, "Nah, look, we'll take that job. We'll lead them in there."
Good deal.
They didn't
Good
lose
deal.
one bomber. But that's been wiped out of the book. I'm sorry, man.
Got to get out of here, Curtis.
I'm
I appreciate I appreciate you, brother. I
It's time
appreciate your
for us to
passion.
go and get out of chat.
Yeah. No, you good. You good. We're about to get out of here, man. Anybody got anything? 30 seconds. That's all I got. 30 seconds. Anybody got anything they want to say before we get out of here? Good deal. Cassandra Alexander Green, are you there?
Yes. Can I say something before?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead.
You know, I'm very passionate about what I believe in. People can call it aggression. I know that I'm assertive. That's exactly who I am. I don't shy away from it. That's who God created me to be. And when I